right, everyone. Welcome to One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and thank you for joining the program tonight. We've got a great guest on here from Jefferson City High School. We have Mia McGraw, and you're going to enjoy getting to know a little bit more about Mia as we dig into a little bit extra from her article in Sports Soccer Magazine. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up right now for you to get a glimpse of the really, really cool photography. As always, Katie does an outstanding job, and sometimes we are limited a little bit as far as where we can go as far as doing the photo shoots. But I thought these were some great creative shots, and Mia did an outstanding job, just going along with everything, and took some great pictures. So. Uh, Her article was really good, and if you haven't seen that in publication, you can find those at Hy-Vee in Jefferson City, as well as Cal's Thriftway in California, and C&R Market in Fulton. Um, if you don't have the access or the ability to go get one of the magazines, you can always go on to sportsoccermagazine.com, and you can see the digital and read Mia's article as well as a bunch of others. Um, I'm looking forward to this interview, so I want to go ahead and not delay anymore. Let's go ahead and bring Mia on. Hi, Mia. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
I am doing good. Thanks for coming on tonight. You, how did school go today? Was it good to get home?
Yeah, actually, I had golf practice after school. We are
Okay.
starting spring practices over at Oak Hills.
Okay. Was it pretty windy out?
Yes, it's been very windy these past couple of weeks,
Yeah. That's
but it's nice to get back out.
yeah. Well, I'm sure that as good as you are with golf, it doesn't really affect your game too much. For me, when I played and I had a slice, I mean, it would make it go way off over to the side. So um, you are
Yeah.
obviously able to take care of that, so that's good. Talk about your article in Sports Locker. What did you think about that, and how it turned out?
I was really excited to read it, and I thought that it turned out amazing. It was incredible how much you learned about me just from a short period of time, and the way that you turned my simple answers from the questions into a whole article and just summed up basically my whole entire career was pretty amazing. I was honored that I'm able to do this interview and get this whole experience with the pictures and the magazine, and I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life. And I'm also glad that my friends and family were able to see how much they mean to me.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about that. So, what did your friends and family say about the article? Did you sign any autographs for anybody? That's we need to know that.
I wish they asked for them. They'll probably be asking soon, though.
Yeah. Good. What?
Um, but they all loved it. Um, it
Good.
was nice to see the reactions by my swing coach down in Eldon, Coach Cummings,
Mm-hmm.
and the athletic director at Jeff City, Coach Harriman. They don't get honored enough for all that they do and
Yeah.
putting up with me. Um, also, my friend family back in Pennsylvania, where I'm from, reached out to me. They read the article, and I think that they were able to find it through Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to do a little shout out to Ms. Roberto, my teacher in middle school, and Mrs. Collins, and my teacher in intermediate school. They have definitely been my biggest supporters, and they continue to follow me after tournaments. After I get an award or something, they always are telling me congrats. And it's incredible from 15 hours away how they still continue to support me.
Yeah, that's pretty special to be able to still have those relationships and that they're following you. So, Pennsylvania. What part of Pennsylvania did you live in?
Near Scranton.
Okay. How far away from Philadelphia or Pittsburgh was that?
It was, I think it was 4 hours to Pittsburgh and 2 hours to Philadelphia and 2 hours to New Jersey.
Okay. So what's it like being in Missouri compared to there?
It's definitely a lot warmer here in Missouri, but the weather pattern here is all over the place.
Oh
But we
yeah,
did get a lot more snow up in Pennsylvania.
yeah.
So I remember the one year we were able to play golf on Christmas, which was, we would never be able to do that in Pennsylvania.
No, probably not. You might have been able to do hockey, but probably not golf.
Yeah.
Mia, talk a little bit about your photo shoot, and again, I was talking about in the beginning of the interview that sometimes we have to adjust and do different things if we can't be out. In particular, like for you out on the golf course, so you guys went out and took pictures and some different locations. And why don't you just talk about that experience working with Katie and getting those awesome photos.
Yeah, it honestly made me feel like a celebrity. I got all dressed up in my uniform, and then we went out like to the courtyard of the high school, and we took the pictures there. And what was interesting is I was told I was the first one to ever have a logo on the golf ball. Um, and that was one of my favorite pictures, honestly. I love that one. Um, and it's kind of something that I always dreamed of, being in a magazine.
Well, you've got a lot of life left ahead of you, and I would not doubt it if you're going to be in, some others. So that's going to be good. And I like the one that you were talking about with the logo on the golf ball. And I'm sure Katie probably shared with you too that sometimes when we go and do photo shoots, it's amazing how many times that, say, for instance, a golfer will forget to bring a golf ball or, just something like that. And it really helps to have a golf ball for a golfer. It kind of
Yeah.
kind of limits the creativity if you don't have that. So you did a great job of making sure that that was there. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your focus on academics and why you work so hard at that?
I want to strive to be the best, just like in everything. I think that's the competitive gene in me. Um, but in my article at the time, I think I was 2 out of 236 in the class, but I went back to being one. Reasons I work so hard in academics is because I know that golf might not always be there for me, and I really would like to become a doctor and go to medical school. This year, I'm in 5 AP classes. Last year, I was in two, but exam season is rolling around the corner, so I can't wait for that.
You've got I mean, you keep a pretty busy schedule, and talk about that transitioning from one thing to another. How are you able to navigate all of that?
It's definitely important to have it all planned out. My planner is very useful, but I think it's just, I like a lot of things happening at once. It, for some reason, it makes me feel calm, and just I don't have a lot of in betweens when I can just go from one thing to the next. I don't know. That's just how I like it. Always busy.
Yeah, and we'll get into the individual sports that you do here in just a minute, but conditioning wise, do you find it difficult going from one to another? What kind of adjustments do you have to make there?
Definitely going from golf to basketball, especially. So, like from the summer, I usually do mainly golf. I play summer ball and stuff, but that period, just going to basketball in the winter, definitely have to get on the treadmill a couple of times. try and get in condition and shape. And then going back to golf after basketball season, um, sometimes I just lose my mind and forget how to swing the ball. So that's when I go down to my swing coach at Eldon, and he gets me back in shape.
Well, good. I had shared with you before the program that I went and helped Katie and Jay and my grandkids move from Colorado to Iowa, and their new house in Iowa had a whole bunch of steep stairs, and taking those boxes up and down. I mean, I needed conditioning for helping them move. I don't know. I mean, it was crazy. I was so worn out with that. I was like, I might need to get somebody's help here. But it is pretty difficult going from one to the next, and conditioning wise, especially going from golf into basketball, I can imagine that's always a challenge. All right, there's somebody that made quite a big difference in your life and the impact. You talked about your grandpa in the article. Give us a little insight about him and what you most appreciated and loved about the time you spent with him.
He was definitely a very important person in my life. I miss him every day. He would always take me out to go golfing on Saturdays, and we would play in his little throw in, my brother and I. And I was very close to him, but with his passing, I was able to realize how similar the both of us are. He would be at every single one of my basketball games and at my golf tournaments in the summer. He was the marshal or the rules official. So you would always see him rolling around in his golf cart. He always gave me the best advice because he coached the Jefferson City Jays to their only state championship in basketball during the 1993 season. So I respect him a lot for that, even if he didn't win. Uh, he's a great
That's
role model to me.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, so we got a friend of mine popped on here, and he said, "Very busy young lady academically," and he said, I can't golf to save my life." So, uh, obviously, we don't want to. If there's anything that you need to have saving your life and it involves golf, don't. We're not going to ask Rich because he's not going to help us out here. Thanks, Rich, for your comment. Anybody else that wants to make comments, feel free to do that. We definitely encourage that. Any of those nice things you want to say about Mia, as well as any questions you may have, we'd love to have them on here. You talked about your grandpa a little bit. Why don't you talk about your parents and how they've impacted your life? Both on and off the playing field.
My mom played Division One golf at the College of Charleston, and my dad played basketball in college in Pennsylvania. So they definitely have pushed me to excel in every single thing that I do. Um, and I'm very grateful to have them. They're also ones to be at every single game, and especially during tournament season for golf during the summer. There's always one of them there watching me and supporting me, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them.
How have they inspired you as a student athlete and encouraged you to be the best that you can be in everything that you do?
Um, I think I got that competitive gene from them, but just the level that they played at, and it kind of developed kind of like a perfectionism in me, and I want to live up to where they were and be even better.
All right, and I'm sure that you get maybe different comments from time to time from them as far when they played and what they did, and kind of challenge you to get better. I mean, how's the competition with your parents? Let's just ask that. How is the competition with your parents? Are you able to go out and beat them in basketball and in golf?
Um, my mom doesn't really play golf a lot anymore, but when she does, she definitely kicks my butt.
Okay.
My dad, um, I don't know. I haven't really played basketball against him in a while, but yeah, I I can't back him down like my brother, but so
Yeah.
yeah.
I can remember when I was growing up, and my dad was fast, and he could always beat me in a foot race. And then I remember the day I finally beat him. I mean, that was a good day. I was excited about it. And then I said, "You want to go again?" And he goes, "No, that was the last time he would ever let me. Last time he would ever. I mean, I couldn't even build on that. It was one and done. So I only have that one memory of beating him. So I guess he figured it out. Once he lost, he was done. So I don't know what it is about that.
Just
Let's
retired.
talk. Yeah, let's talk about your. You mentioned your brother. Let's talk about him and your relationship with him. What do you appreciate about your brother?
I appreciate that how much he pushes me, and him and his friend Hunter Hovis, also my friend. I always go out and playing golf. We went yesterday. Um, I just love competing against them. They're really fun. They talk a lot of smack, but it definitely makes me better and pushes me a lot. Um, it's getting harder to kick their butts now because they're able to hit it further. Um, but I'm going to have to work on that.
So what? I mean, what kind of smack talk are they doing on the golf course?
Anything you could possibly think of, even if I'm beating them, they'll still find a way to try and get in my head.
You just tell them just keep looking at the score, right?
Yeah, scoreboard.
All right, good. Well, me have done a great job. We've gone through the first half of the interview. We're going to take a quick sponsor break, and then we'll be back for the second half and doing an outstanding job. So um, appreciate all that you're sharing with us, and I appreciate the comments. Now, Rich is like put on a whole bunch. He's got wow, what a role model, and then he's got a couple other things on there. So we've got him engaged. Let's get some other people making some comments if you can, because I don't want Rich to keep being the one talking on here. I need some other people to jump in. So all right, we'll be right back here in just a few moments.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions, Paula Benny and her team over there, they do an outstanding job. Not only do they do a great job with helping people find jobs, they also help employers locate those people that they need to fill those positions. And they do that all throughout mid-Missouri. So we appreciate their hard work in making sure that we keep the economy moving well here in mid-Missouri. Also, they do a whole bunch of things outside of the workplace. They're heavily involved in the community, and just about, I think it's been 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, they helped bring into Jefferson City Redemption Junior, and they had the Slugs and Bugs concert out at the Special Olympics, and it was just a great musical opportunity for young kids to be able to go out and just have a whole bunch of fun with the gentleman that came in for that. Also, they're a part of Redemption Inside the Walls, which is going into its 7th year, and that will be this fall. And they do a ton of work as far as helping put that together. We will be announcing the artist here really soon as far as who's coming, and you're gonna really like this artist. I almost gave it away and said who it was a minute ago. I've got to wait, but be looking for that, and that'll be in September. All right. We appreciate CNS Employment Solutions, but we also appreciate Big Whiskeys, and they do an excellent job as far as recognizing our coaches, our coach of the issue, and this one was Kenny Gones from California. And we just appreciate being able to recognize the coaches for all the hard work that they put in and the time that's spent away from their families and everything that they do So we appreciate Big Whiskey's recognizing them. Um, we've been talking to Mia, and we're going to go ahead and get into the second part of her interview. And I appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure that you have any comments or questions. Let's go ahead and throw those out to her. All right, let's go ahead and get back to Mia. All right, Mia, doing a great job. You didn't hang up on me. That's good. You're still here. I always appreciate that. uh, we're talking about coaches. I know you've had some coach changes and stuff like that, but why don't we go ahead and talk a little bit about your swing coach down in Eldon and just how important he's played a role in helping you improve your game.
Yeah, Coach Cummings down at Eldon has definitely helped me a lot with my swing. And even though it's like 40-minute drive, it's worth every minute. Going down there, he gives me my confidence back. He gets me straight, and he has a very analytical mind like I do. So I've had swing coaches in the past in Pennsylvania and stuff, but he's definitely my favorite one. He puts it to ways that I understand it, and if I don't understand, he'll find a way that I do.
Very good. Uh, you know, he and the Eldon Country Club, they have been a good sponsor for sports soccer for a very long time, and we appreciate all their support, and we appreciate all the hard work that they put into student athletes like yourself. And he's an outstanding man, and we really appreciate all that he does. So, okay, so are you ready for a little bit of trash talk from
Yeah.
somebody? Okay. Hunter.
Oh gosh.
He said she never even beats me or Bubba. So.
That's a lie. He's in golf season right now, so I did not beat them, I have to admit, yesterday, but
Okay.
I'm just coming off of basketball season.
That's right.
So,
That's right. They got to give you a little bit of time, right?
yes, he's playing 24/7. Except my brother, on the other hand, he just goes out and plays. I don't know how he does it.
Well, probably because he loves it, and you got somebody who's got your back here. Mindy chimed in and said, "Careful, Hunter Hovis." Thank you, Mindy. We appreciate that. Uh, Mia needs people, covering her back, so thanks for doing that. All right, Mia. What have been some of the challenges that you've had during high school as far as physically and mentally?
Physically, I have hypermobility, so my joints go past where they're supposed to, and it makes me more prone to injury. So while I love being able to do splits and very flexible, I also love working and grinding, and until I have no more energy left. So that makes my body a lot weaker. During my freshman year of basketball, I broke my scaphoid in my right wrist, and they said that's one of the hard bones to break. But I had it for 2 months. It was broken during season, and my mom didn't believe me that it was broken. She blamed it on typing on Snapchat.
Okay.
But 2 months after, we went in and I got surgery on it, and rest is history.
Okay. Well, that would be some serious typing on Snapchat if you were, broken your wrist that way. I would have to say,
Yeah.
if that was the case, you're gonna have to slow down on that. Yeah. So, what kind of physical therapy did you have to do to try to help correct that, and how long did it take you for that injury to heal?
um, well, that whole summer I didn't get to play golf at all. I just went straight into the season. I had surgery, and then I was in a cast for 3 months, I think, and it was really different, just building back all the muscles in my right hand. Um, yeah, I went to physical therapy a little bit for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Talk about basketball season. You just finished up with that not long ago. How did that go for you, and were you able to reach any of the goals that you set for yourself?
Yeah, this basketball season was really fun. I love my teammates. They're like a family to me. But this season was a little bit different since I worked my way into a starting position. Um, Even though I don't practice as much at basketball as I do at golf, I definitely, every time I get on the court, I'm going to leave everything on the floor. And I have the bruises and scars to prove it. Um, I had a couple of big games this year, which is different for me also because I'm used to being kind of the glue player and
Mm-hmm.
not doing anything that people usually really notice.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite shot on the floor?
Sorry, what?
What's your favorite shot on the court? Favorite spot?
Um, the corner, the left hand
Corner?
corner.
Corner three?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, definitely. I
Okay.
I don't think I even made one from the wing or the top of the key. I would, if you saw me on the court, I would always be in the corner.
Okay. Very good. What were some of the highlights for you this past season, and some of the memories that you made with your teammates?
We played for a district championship. Unfortunately, we didn't get to move on, but um, it was fun. The district retreats. It was a great team bonding experience for us. We went to watch a movie, and then we went down in Lynn Creek, and we actually played. They had simulators down there. I did a little bit of golfing on the simulators and bowling and stuff. So I always loved the district retreats.
Oh, good. Good. Now, you had mentioned in your article that you played a little bit of summer ball too for basketball. Talk about that. How often are you able to do that?
I really stopped that whenever I broke my wrist during basketball. I think my parents were scared.
Mm-hmm.
Um, didn't want any more injuries affecting golf.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I played for Blackout and Phenom,
Mm-hmm.
and we could travel up to Kansas City and St. Louis for
Okay.
those games.
With your parents traveling and taking you around a lot, they were probably ready for that break too, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. Now let's talk about golf and this last season. How did that go? And talk about the different awards, different goals that you were able to achieve. Share a little bit with us about that.
Okay, so I've gotten all conference, all district, and I've qualified for state for the third year in a row. But this year I received all state honors and I placed 14th. And I also shot a low of 78 at Sedalia Country Club and Meadow Lake this year.
That's very good, outstanding. Talk a little bit about that being recognized as all state. I mean, what did that mean to you, and um, what are some of your goals moving forward?
Um, it's it's interesting because my grandpa was in the hospital around that time, and I think it was a couple days before he passed away. I got to tell him that I made all state, and I remember how happy he was. That I'm definitely going to remember that for the rest of my life. Some goal moving forward is to continue on the all conference, all district, all state path, and hopefully improve upon that. And in order to improve, I think I'm going to have to work on my short game a little bit more because that's where most of my strokes are coming from.
Well, I am sure that Hunter and brother, I'm sure that they wouldn't say anything about that. They probably admire that, and they're trying to model their game after yours on that. So you just keep putting it
Yeah.
to them. uh, that's a pretty special thing to be able to have that moment with your grandfather and share that with him. That's pretty awesome. I'm happy you were able to do that. You talked about getting started with golf at a young age. What kicked in to really give you a love for that?
I think I gotta give most of that credit to my parents. They always have me out on the golf course or with the basketball in my hands. Um, but I think it's from that competitive gene. Just it gave me very strong fundamentals just to build on later in life and continue to build on. Uh, yeah.
You know, teammates are an important part as far as being able to help motivate and challenge. So, how have your relationships with your teammates been, and how have they motivated and challenged you?
They've definitely challenged me to work harder for them and just to leave it out on the floor or during golf season. If I'm not doing my best, they'll always encourage me to say, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're still better than me." But that sometimes annoys me. But you gotta love them for it.
Yeah,
Katie and Ella and Ava. We only had 4 people on our team, but I wouldn't choose any other 4 people.
that's awesome. Uh, and would you consider yourself the leader on the team?
Yeah, I think so. But during this year, I like Ava. I think she led a lot more than that. Like there's golfing, and then there's just being a leader. I think that was Ava during this season.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely led all of us and kept our composure even when things got hard during the season.
Yeah. You find yourself out there encouraging them when they're playing and you're not actually um, playing at that time. Are you out there encouraging them as well, giving them helpful hints with the game and the course?
Yeah, yeah. I remember one of the courses, I tried to help Ella and teach her like how to take it back a little bit further, and they
Mm-hmm.
thought that it was like the funniest thing ever. And then I'm usually one of the first ones to tee off, so I always go back and I watch them finish up. I just love watching them play and get so much joy.
Very good. It's awesome. Well, in your article, you talked also about your future in golf after high school. Tell us about that and what some of your plans are, what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping to play golf in college, but I think this summer is gonna help me make that decision a lot based on what happens. I'm enrolled in a bunch of new programs and a lot of tournaments, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm hoping to go to college out of state, even if I don't play golf. Um, but in state's always an option.
Now, you had mentioned that possibility of looking at going where your mom did. Is that still an option or something you would like to do?
Yeah, I mean, I was always loved to do that, but they're really good, so they're in the top 25, so
Okay.
I'm gonna have to step up my game if I want to do that.
Yeah. Well, you can do that. So keep after it. Uh, Outside of golf, and you mentioned this a little bit earlier about a career possibility. Why would you want to go into the medical field, and what helped you to come to that determination?
I just love helping people and taking care of others. I just the doctors. I mean, I've been around them a lot with all my injuries, and I just want to be able to help people.
Okay. Well, you've gone through this second part of the interview, so now we're going to do some quick speed round questions. And these are just some fun ones. We're going to find out a little bit more. We might need mom or somebody to pop on here if it's not quite accurate. So we'll just have to make sure on that. But we're going to start off with, what is your favorite go-to snack or meal after a game or a match?
I love Pancheros. Every single time I'll go to Pancheros. Just the
All
chips
right.
and queso.
Chips and queso. What do you order for the other food?
I get quesadilla with corn and tomatoes on it.
Okay. I I would flip back and forth from the bowl with everything on it, but then chicken and cheese quesadilla with the pico de gallo, sour cream, and the hot sauce. The hottest one. Do you like
Mm,
hot sauce?
yeah,
Okay.
I love everything spicy.
Yeah. Good. Good. Some people don't like that. I've got my grandkids. I think only one of my grandkids will like the hot stuff. The rest of them, they don't want anything to do with that. So, but yes, Pancheros is good. What's your favorite ice cream?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay. Is there a particular place that you like to get that from?
Um, Not really. Well, if I were to go out and get ice cream from a place, I would go to Cold Stone, and I forget what it's called, but it's chocolate chip or it's cake batter with vanilla Oreos and cookie dough, and that's my favorite.
Okay. Well, you said Cold Stone, so I'll go ahead and share that here real quick. My wife and I would go there, and you've been there too often when they begin to just ask you what size, and they already know what you're going to get. So that's not good. So we've had to cut back a little bit, but I would get mocha with pecans and maraschino cherries, and that's what I liked, and that's what I got every time. So it was good. We got a couple of comments. We got Patty Barnhart McFeeder. She's on here. She is absolutely a great fan of the program, constantly on here supporting everybody. I'm glad she's getting to watch again. She's been busy with grandkids, their games, and stuff like that. So it's good to have you on here, Patty. Also, we've got your mom, and she says her post game meal picked out before the game begins. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's awesome. What if there's anywhere in the world you could go, Mia? Where would that be and why?
Anywhere on the beach is nice. I just love the beach, how calming it is, looking for seashells. That's just my favorite place in the world. Any beach, I don't care which one.
So do you like swimming in the ocean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. See, that's so for me. Typically in the ocean, especially depending on where you are, there's sharks out there, right?
Yep.
Okay. Just stating a fact. I watched too many movies when I was growing up, so. All right. I got another question, and this is going to work perfectly because you can talk about Hunter and your brother uh, on the golf course. Three superheroes. You're which superhero, and what superheroes are they on the golf course as far as how your games kind of go?
Um, Probably like Scotty Scheffler, and then Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy because he just won
Okay.
the Masters. So
So which one would you be then? Rory, obviously, since you just won the Masters.
yeah.
Okay, good. Hoping you get another dig in. All right, I've got one more good question, and again, Mom might have to chime in here. But what is your least favorite chore to do around the house, and why?
Oh, that's hard because I usually get all my chores done. My brother, on the other hand, does not. What's your least favorite chore? I'll ask him.
Okay,
Um, Probably just putting my clothes up.
Putting his clothes up.
It takes too
okay,
long.
takes too long. Yep, good. And so then, what would yours be?
Um, I guess washing the dishes after I bake. I love baking. I don't like washing the dishes.
You will not be surprised, but that is probably the number one answer. People don't like to do dishes, so it's good. All right, Mia, you've done an outstanding job. I want to give you just a moment to do any additional shout out or say anything to anybody that you would like, and then I'll close out the program. So go ahead.
I just want to say to Hunter, since he had so much to say, that I'll be waiting for him out on the course.
That's awesome. Very good. I'm going to have you hold on until after the program. I'll visit with you just briefly, but you've done an outstanding job, and it's been fun having you on here tonight. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll be right back with you in just a moment. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching tonight. You have been on One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra, and our guest tonight was Mia McGraw of the Jefferson City Jays, the golf team as well as the basketball team. And as you heard, the gauntlet has been thrown down. She's going to take Hunter and her brother out to the course again, and she's going to lay the smack down. And I believe it. I wouldn't want to play Mia. And again, for reasons like Rich said earlier, you should not want to count on me if you're really needing somebody to help you out. Katie, she did a great job. Yes, you're very proud of her, and you have every reason to be. So, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, with One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. Until next week, God bless you, and I will see you then.